Hey everyone, I'm Overland Explorer. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be attempting to make my version of the four-wheel camper thermal pack. The thermal pack is a $1,275 option sold by four-wheel campers. Its purpose is to add an insulating layer to the pop-up section of the camper. So here's everything I'm using to make my thermal pack. I have 3 packages of bias tape for the unfinished edges, 8 yards of 1-inch loop Velcro with adhesive backing, 15 yards of 2-inch hook Velcro, and this is sew-on, heavy-duty thread, 22-inch YKK zippers, this is for the windows, and the material that I'm using is this moving blanket that measures 144 inches long by 80 inches wide, which will give me enough material for both sides, plus a little left over. And the star of the show is this 1984 Singer sewing machine that I picked up at St. Vinny's for $5.99. Each panel will be 26 inches tall. I tried to iron out the creases in order to make measuring a little bit more consistent. I then used a white fabric pencil to mark the cut line. The next thing I need to do is pin this bias tape on the edge that I just cut. This is so it doesn't come unraveled. It should look just like the edging that they have here.
Two hours later.
I'm going to take the pins out, and now I'm going to put the Velcro on the back side of it. So we'll see if it can stitch through that many layers of material. It'll be interesting to see how powerful this sewing machine is. All right, time for its first test fitting. We'll see if this is gonna work or not. So I think it's gonna work. It's a little bit short in places, and I don't know if I didn't measure it very good, or if I didn't cut it very good, or if just the factory edge on here was really wonky to begin with. But yeah, I could have been another ½ inch or even an inch longer, but I'm gonna make it work either way. I can always just put it up here a little bit lower so it reaches the Velcro in this position. But I'm gonna go ahead and sew on the bottom portion of the Velcro, and that'll be the next 5-hour thing that I do. With the exception of the windows, I have one panel completely done. And I think this is how I'm going to use it for a while, just to make sure that this fabric actually does something to help keep the warmth in. So I'll put the windows in eventually if this is effective. But right now I'm going to go out to the camper and put the lower piece of Velcro on, and then do the final test fitting before I move on to the next piece. So the next step is to apply the Velcro to the lower edge. So I have the 1-inch looped Velcro with the sticky backing, and all I need to do is remove all of these screws, stick it on here, and then put the screws back on. So I got all of these screws off, and now it's time to put the Velcro on, and I'm going to put it flush up against the top of this edge here. All right, before I go any farther, I'm going to start putting screws in just to really hold it in place. Let's start with this one. All right, right there, that's what I'm aiming for. Good. Perfect. Whole bunch more to go. So that's what it looks like fully installed on this side. And I'm going to do the final test fitment with the thermal pack right now. So yeah, it's a little bit tight on this side, but not bad. It fits. And also, I wish the ends were a little bit longer to tuck them back here farther, but that's as long as the blanket was, so I didn't really have too much control over that. So I'm probably just going to use it like this for now. And then, like I said, I'll add the zippered windows once I know this is actually doing something. Cut to using it like this for now. In early October, I went on a grouse hunting camping trip. The temperature outside was 39 degrees and the temperature inside was 63 degrees. The side of the camper with the homemade thermal pack was 55 degrees and the temperature on the side without the thermal pack was 7 degrees colder at 48 degrees. Not bad for a few hours of work. Time to measure and cut the passenger side. Well, after 40 years of selfless service, I killed it. It just wasn't heavy duty enough to be pushing through the thick material that I have, and I ended up stripping a gear, and since I only paid $5.95 for it, it's not worth fixing, so I'm gonna run and get a new one. So here's a little comparison, new versus old. The new one is labeled heavy duty, so hopefully it is up to the task for what I'm going to be putting it through. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the new sewing machine to work. I even had someone with more sewing experience come over to see if she could help me get it to work, but long story short, I ended up returning it, which puts this project on hold. Also, I wasn't completely happy with the material that I chose. The padding in the moving blanket is unevenly distributed, making some areas less insulated, so I don't think I want to waste my expensive zippers on this material. If I ever attempt this again, I'll probably buy this material. It's actually designed to be an insulating layer, unlike the moving blanket. This project has been a good proof of concept, and maybe someday I'll pick it up again, but that's it for this one. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.